So here we are, Proof Golf HQ, and we've come into a little bit of an issue. There's a meeting going on downstairs, and look, we're good people. You know, we don't want to invade on other people's important meetings with playing golf during the day. That's part of indoor golf. You got to think about that stuff. When you hit the impact screen, it makes a lot of noise. So we were going to record a whole round at the US Open. It was going to be awesome. And now there's a meeting going on downstairs, and we don't want to be smashing drivers into this thing and making a bunch of noise. So we're filming this instead. We're going to talk about something that we've wanted to talk about here for a little bit. And if you've seen our videos about our whole simulator setup between the projector, the mat, the bay, the computer, the launch monitor, you know that we love the Bushnell Launch Pro, aka the Foresight GC3. It's awesome. It's a triple camera setup, super high-speed cameras. It picks up ball flight, which is very important indoor because it means it can grab all of your spin axis and all that kind of stuff. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter from a simulator standpoint. It doesn't matter how your ball gets in the air. Once it's in the air and what it does in the air is all that really matters. And so for indoor setups, these optical ones are probably the best thing. However, they're expensive. They did drop $1,000 off of this one, so it's $3,000 now. But for a lot of you watching this, you might be going, God, $3,000? That's crazy. And it is expensive, but look at what you're getting. I mean, you're getting high-speed cameras that are somehow tracking a ball going over 100 miles an hour and accurately telling you where it's going to go. There's a lot of technology going on in these things. So that's part of it, and it's great. I don't want to say anything bad about the Bushnell Launch Pro. However, there are ways that you can get into this that cost extremely less amounts of dollar bills. And this guy down here, the Garmin Approach R10, would probably be chief among those. Now, there is one coming that's going to be pretty sweet, coming soon. Some people have it, probably 10, it feels like people have this thing. It doesn't feel like many people have got it yet. But the Rapsodo MLM2 Pro, all right, all the letters, I think. But it's a radar-based, $700 sit-behind-you device. It's got a camera. Looking forward to that whenever we can get our hands on it. It might be July, I think, before we'll get one. But in the meantime, the Garmin has been around for, I don't know, somewhere around a year and a half, something like that. At $600 now, we've got some deals on proof.golf. Check it out. You can go over to the website and see these deals. $550 with a battery pack and stuff like that. So there are deals going on with this thing that get it between the $500 and $600 range, but that's where it's going to be. And it is a single radar-based unit. It's small. It is compact. The whole thing fits in a case that's this size, which is awesome. I've got all my cables up in here and mounts and all that kind of stuff. But ultimately, you pluck it up off here, it magnetically comes apart. That thing folds up, drops into that slot. This guy drops into this slot. Pack it up, you can put it in your golf bag. I mean, it's the size of a cell phone. I don't have a phone on me, but look, here's a sand wedge. You can tell, this thing's little. I mean, there's just not much to it here. And so the cool part about this is it's super duper portable, not just a little portable, like super duper portable. And then, once you get the thing out, this magnetizes on, you pop this open. I would suggest, especially indoor, getting something like this that you get them on Etsy or eBay, or there's all kinds of them. I mean, tons of people make them. They'll 3D print them. But just something that gives you the ability to change the height of it pretty easily. Because especially if you're indoor and you're on a mat, that mat is probably 1.5 inches to 2 inches tall. So if you look at our mat height here, and that's about 1 3/4 inches, I think. We need to get this thing up off the ground level with your hitting surface. So you can do that a variety of ways. You can get a plank of wood if you want to, but it's much easier to have one of these little $10, $15 things. But the Garmin is so simple. You open it up, click the button, and it basically is ready to start pairing. I've got my phone here. You go into the Garmin app, and it'll know that the Garmin's nearby. It's hooked up with Bluetooth. I'm going to end this session here just to show you around real quick. But it's a basic app that has some simulator stuff in here, a driving range, all that kind of stuff. And so if you go to the driving range, there's no price for any of this stuff. We'll go to, how about Green Valley driving range? And you'll be able to see, I'm going to leave this right here. Joe can just put the camera on it. And you'll see, with that amount of setup, click a button, open the app. Just going to hit a little baby wedge here. We should see that going down the driving range. And just as simple as doing that, is exiting out of this session. I'll delete. And I'll go to basically tell it I'm going to play E6 Connect. Now we've gone in and set this up now for GS Pro, which is another simulator software. And we'll do a whole video on some of these simulators set up for, you know, the R10, because there's a separate setup for TGC 2019. There's a separate setup for GS Pro, for E6 Connect, all that stuff. So there's a different way to connect to each one of these. GS Pro takes, well, TGC is not the easiest either, but they both have relatively simple ways, once you know what you're doing, to get connected and play some simulator golf. But now I've got it talking basically through the IP address to the computer that's running GS Pro. And so now I've switched from running on the sim on the phone, which is fine, especially at the range. You could just have a little stand for your phone, to now we've got GS Pro running. That was a terrible shot. I don't think it was that bad. Let's try that again. There we go. And you know, I can actually tell you with the Bushnell, I'm getting 60 yards of carry, and if you look at carry raw, it's 63 up there, so it gave me a couple yards. But you're seeing similar spin numbers, 7,600 there, we got 5,800 there, and that's the case without RCT balls, which have the actual metal pieces inside them from Titleist. This thing doesn't do the best on spin, but we're going to do another video about that as well, about how much better spin numbers get overall. Now granted, a radar unit can't judge spin axis, so it doesn't know which direction it's spinning. It just knows how many times it's spinning, especially with either a marked ball or with the metal dots, or better with the RCT balls. But we're going to talk about all that stuff in a different video. We'll do some different videos about the setup processes for each of these things, because like I said, for most people that just want to turn it on and go, it's not always the simplest things. But once you know all the steps, you can go through and get this stuff knocked out pretty quickly. But yeah, that's the Garmin R10 in a nutshell. It's affordable, it's fun to use, and again, it's so small. You can take this and put it on the range, put it behind you on the range, put your phone up here on a stand, play through 18 holes if you wanted to right there on your phone, or just get your accurate numbers while you're at the range and use it for things like practice and trying to get better and figuring out where your club angles are coming in and all that stuff. Radar units are great for that stuff. They can detect a lot of things that these guys can't with your club. So for training purposes, outdoors, this thing is actually pretty awesome, and it does a really good job indoors too, if you want to keep things on a budget. See you next time.